let's start with doing a deal directly with Hamas. How do you feel about that? Would that be your call?
Well, Chris, first of all, thanks for having me back on. Hamas is a terrorist organization. Obviously, there was zero justification for the brutal October 7th terrorist attack, for the sexual violence, and no justification for taking the hostages. And we need to demand the release of the hostages. But the reality is that the war has gone on a long time. Many innocent civilians have died in Palestine, and the best way to get the release of the hostages and to end the loss of life is to have a permanent ceasefire, what President Biden has put forward, and then to work with the Saudis, UAE, Jordan, and have a new governance structure in Gaza.
So, Congressman Khanna, what do you offer Hamas, and how do you do a deal with them without simultaneously making it very clear to Iran that you are going to crush them like a bug if they continue to aggravate the situation?
Well, I think this is why we need our Gulf allies. Any deal that what the interest for Hamas is just that they're going to stop dying. I mean, the reality is right now,
do they care?
There are many people. Well, look, not all of the people who Israel has killed in Gaza are Hamas, but many are Hamas. So I do think they care about their own lives and their own military folks. I mean, to some extent, they do. That's why they keep begging for an end to this war. But they need to release all the hostages, and we need to work with then our Gulf allies to have new governance in that area. And that's also what will be a deterrent to Iran. If we can get with Egypt, Jordan, UAE, Saudi, and Israel, that is a big deterrent to Iran. Here's my challenge, Chris, with Netanyahu's strategy. He's going after Hamas in Rafah. They're popping up in northern Gaza. This is a counterinsurgency. We know what happens in Iraq or Vietnam or other places. I just don't see what is his end game to eradicate
He's got
Hamas.
a case of bloodlust. I don't think
it's possible.
He's got a case of, I know you can't say it, but I can. He's got a case of bloodlust. He's out of step with his own people. He was out before this happened. And he clearly doesn't want a two-state solution. His ministers say it. He never corrects them. And he is an enemy in terms of getting this done anytime soon. I'm not saying he's an enemy to America's interests overall, but he's a problem for you guys. But I appreciate your take on the state of play. Let me ask you about another one while I have you, because you're a precious commodity. So this woman goes to the dinner and exposes Sam Alito for exactly what we expect these men and women to be, which is they have their own biases. And Sam Alito is a devout Catholic who has feelings about it. How do you change the transparency and the ethics of the Supreme Court when they are self-policed? Do you believe we should change the process of confirmation so there's transparency? And do you believe there's anything Congress can do to make sure that the Supreme Court stays supreme in terms of what we understand about its ethics?
Yeah, we need a Supreme Court judicial code of conduct. Look, I was pleased with Justice Roberts' comments about pluralism and and being open. And I met Justice Roberts before. We have philosophical disagreements, strong disagreements, but he was patriotic in his comments. I found him that when I had a conversation with him. I would hope he would step up and say the credibility of the court is being questioned. We've got to have basic ethics. Let me give you two basic examples. Samuel Alito says, look, the upside-down flag outside his home, it wasn't his decision, it was his wife's decision. He can't tell his wife what to do. Well, look, I can't tell my wife what to do either. They have a First Amendment right, but he can't then sit on a court on the January 6th case. So why not just recuse yourself? No one's saying you can't have that flag as a First Amendment. No one's saying tell your wife what to do, but have the basic common sense to not sit on a case where you may have a conflict. And same thing with Justice Thomas. I mean, okay, he's taken all these gifts from Harlan Crow. Crow's got a case in front of him which has a residential company that has business before the court. So why doesn't Justice Thomas just recuse himself? These are common sense things that would restore credibility.
Because they want certain outcomes, Congressman Khanna. That's why. That's why they were put there, and that's why they want to stay there, just like all the justices. I believe the next time, I mean, you're not in the Senate, at least not yet, but when they have transparency in the confirmation process and you have someone like an Amy Coney Barrett or a Sotomayor, and they belong to organizations that show clear political preference, just tell us. And then if the votes are there, you get in. But at least we know who we're dealing with. Congressman Khanna, I appreciate you being a fair broker to the audience. You are always welcome here. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
See you again. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.